Welcome to the MPP Hoot, where we give you a recap of last week's news on everything education. On Wednesday, Williams College announced that starting in the fall of the 2022 semester, the school will be the first in the country to entirely move away from student loans. In addition, the college will eliminate required campus and summer jobs, which have been included in the financial aid packages. Student loans, in exchange, will be replaced with grant funds. As a result, families will go through a much simpler financial aid process. This transition will benefit almost 53% of Williams' 2,121 total undergraduates who receive financial aid. Middle-income families will receive roughly $35,000 in extra grant aid over 4 years, and low-income families, whose aid packages already disbarred student loans, will receive nearly $16,000 in additional grant funds. Williams also revised their financial aid methodology through 2021. The result is reduced costs to many middle and low-income families. In fact, 1 in 6 Williams families saw their parent contribution decrease by $4,500 last year. Overall, this change will cost the college an estimated $6.75 million annually, the result of raising its total financial aid budget to $77.5 million per year. A 42-year-old math teacher in Texas, Thomas Mayfield, was seeing that his students were majorly struggling to learn math concepts. He also recognized that most of his students were facing obstacles outside of the classroom. Where he teaches, at least 40% of students are economically disadvantaged. In an effort to connect with the students in a more familiar and welcoming manner, Mayfield introduced rap into the classroom. He said, "It's built confidence, and it helps to build a less traumatic experience, and they feel like they're invited and welcomed into the classroom." Mayfield and his students rap and create music videos that have gone viral. These videos are about multiplication, decimals, and other mathematical concepts. According to Mayfield, this was an effective learning strategy, and he saw results within 1 semester. The results include state scores rising, student growth increasing, and productivity surging. In addition, the students began caring more about coming to school, which is evident in the way in which attendance rates rose. As the district celebrates this achievement, Mayfield got promoted for the 2021-2022 school year to coach teachers at another Title I school in Fort Worth, Texas. Due to incredibly low enrollment, Harvard is eliminating its undergraduate teacher education program. They'll be transitioning to a master's-only program for teachers in training. On top of low enrollment, another contributing factor to the switch is that students were experiencing difficulties participating in the program while preparing their senior thesis. Nevertheless, students may still seek a teaching license through Harvard through the master's program called Teaching and Teacher Leadership, which has been increasing the number of teachers Harvard is training. According to an education professor at Harvard, in recent years, only 2 to 5 students per year have participated in this undergraduate program. On the contrary, in the fall of 2020, 970 students were pursuing their education master's degree. The undergraduate program consisted of 4 courses, which totaled to 16 credits. With these credits, students could earn a license to teach in secondary public schools in Massachusetts and more than 40 other states. According to a recent report by the American Association of Colleges for Teacher Education, the yearly number of undergraduate education degrees has dropped by more than 50% in almost 5 decades. Likely, one of the main reasons for the downward trend in students seeking their undergraduate education degrees is high-cost student loans and low teacher pay. A Texas school district is planning to implement a 4-day school week in the upcoming school year. The contributing reasons include teacher burnout and staff shortages that have occurred partially due to the pandemic. Last month, the Jasper Independent School District confirmed that they will be using a 4-day school week model during the 2022-2023 school year. In addition, the district shared that their school system will fulfill the 75,600 minutes required for a school year in Texas. John Sabold, the district's superintendent, reported on Good Morning America that teacher burnout has been an issue for a long time, but since COVID-19, it has seemed to expand, and it's becoming more and more of an issue. The 4-day week will begin October and continue through April. Then in August, the school year will go back to being a standard 5-day model. In addition, the school district is working with a local food bank to ensure that all students will be able to access and afford food on the long weekends. According to a report on a survey of 359 school districts and charter school network leaders, 1/4 of superintendents said they'll likely leave their positions soon. This is on top of the 13% of superintendents who already left between the last 2 school years. The findings of this report reflect that along with teachers and school staff, superintendents are also seeking new jobs or careers due to the ongoing and residual pandemic stress. According to a report from February, since the pandemic began, 37% of the nation's 500 largest districts have experienced or are experiencing leadership changes. In an earlier survey released in February, 75% of district leaders stated that political polarization over the pandemic and vaccines limited their ability to teach through the 2021-2022 school year. In addition, 70% of superintendents said their work hours had increased since the beginning of the pandemic. Their average work week of 59 hours increased to 67 hours during COVID-19, which likely contributes to feelings of burnout for superintendents. A necessary support is for responsibilities to be eased for these superintendents. In Montgomery, Alabama, Governor Kay Ivey signed a bill that will develop a grant program for impoverished schools and provide them with feminine hygiene products to offer female students free of charge. This legislation was spurred by the efforts of 2 teenagers in Montgomery, Brooke and Brianna Bennett. In 2019, the 2 teenagers created Women in Training, which is a nonprofit that provides feminine hygiene products to those in need. Limited or lack of access to feminine hygiene products can result in students skipping class, and in turn, disrupting their education. This bill will create a $200,000 grant program for Title I schools for which 40% or more of the student body is impoverished. Schools will choose a female teacher, nurse, or counselor to distribute the products to students. This will apply to schools with grades 5 through 12. The new bill will take effect on August 1st. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode.